Hi, I'm Glenn Burkins with QCity Metro. I'm here today with Faith Triggs with Advocacy with Habitat for Humanity.
There you go.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So we are shooting on site today. Tell me about this place.
So this particular development has a lot of historical significance. I'm not sure if our folks are familiar with Plato Price, but it has a significant history. The Plato Price school that was here started in 1915. It has an illustrious history of folks who attended here. Congressman Mel Watts, Judge Donnie Hoover, his brother who's a physician, Eddie Hoover, as well as some local artists attended here. And the school was actually really shut down, and they started shutting it down in 1961. It actually shut down in 1966 due to desegregation. And so, you know, that history and that legacy was stopped. And so fortunately, the city of Charlotte acquired the property during the 1980s. And then probably about 10 years ago, Habitat Charlotte Region started negotiations to acquire the property. And so the city of Charlotte actually donated the property to Habitat. And in that partnership, we're now able to build nearly 40 homes, maybe 38, 39.
Maybe 38,
yeah.
39. Now the ones behind us, are these some of the earlier homes?
Yes, so we're actually in the early stages. And what makes this so significant, one, are the partnerships. We are very, very blessed to have great community support. We have the Myers Park United Methodist Church that is a part of this, and they've given $1 million, as well as the Alley Financial, another $1 million partner. And so the significance of this is that we're going to allow these families who want to be in this community, who want to become first-time home buyers, and who are, you know, wanting to fulfill the American dream. They're going to be able to purchase homes. And so we're in the early stages. We are actually preparing for, we're in our 40th anniversary. And we are also looking to do what's called the Carter Work Project.
I was going to ask you about that. That's going to be in September. So right now there's not a lot happening here on a Monday, but in September this place is going to really be hopping.
It's going to be...
No, October.
It's October 1st through the 6th. And so the Carter Work Project is significant. It is a really international event that was started by former President Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind Carter. And so Habitat Charlotte Region was very fortunate to be a part of that in the, I think it was in 1987. So we have been, because of COVID, it was on moratorium for a couple of years. So now, post-COVID, Habitat Charlotte Region is the first one to bring it back. So we're really excited. 1,500 volunteers from around the world. We've got superstar ambassadors with Garth Brooks and his wife, and we're just really, really excited about this event.
And there's another person who's coming. Is that Garth Brooks' wife? There's
Yes.
another Yearwood or
Trish Yearwood.
Trish Yearwood.
Yes.
That's not Garth Brooks' wife.
That's his wife.
That's his wife.
Yes, that's his wife, and they are going to be our ambassadors for this event. And so with that, that's going to bring in a lot of just, we hope, presence, significant support, financial support, you know, time, talent, and treasure. So we're excited about this event.
So are they actually going to be here swinging hammers?
We hope so. They better be.
And so how many people are you expecting to come for that build?
So right now we're looking at about 1,500 volunteers from throughout the world.
1,500 volunteers from throughout the world.
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
How do you manage that?
So we've got a Habitat for Humanity International has a team that this is what they do every year. And so they've been working on that for years. Then we also have our local team. Laura Belcher is our president and CEO. And so she's designated internal staff to kind of work with Habitat for Humanity International to make sure the logistics are done. So we're really excited.
And so what do you hope will be accomplished once that build is done? Will all of the houses be built, or?
I believe we are doing, I want to say, maybe 21 to 23 homes during that week. And I can get the final number on that. But it will be a significant dent in getting this project done.
Who are the people who are going to occupy these homes when they're built, and why is that important? We know that Charlotte has an affordability problem. Talk about that just a little.
Well, I think what's critical with Habitat is that we really provide first-time homebuyership opportunities, and our focus is home ownership. With families who may never have the opportunity, they're hardworking folks. They're putting in hours volunteering towards these houses. They're going to have a mortgage. They've probably gone through our Money Matters program, and they've gone through a training process called Homeowners in Process to learn how to become homeowners. And so to give these working families and individuals opportunities to become a homeowner, it's rare. What we're able to do, one, to make sure that they're staying at 30% AMI, so that they're paying no more than 30% of their resources and their income towards a mortgage, it's rare. And so we're excited that we're able to participate in that, working with our partners, working with the City of Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, and other state and local resources as well, from community development block grants to private foundations and corporate support, that we're able to give these families that opportunity towards the American dream.
You mentioned it in passing, but Habitat does a lot to prepare these homeowners before they actually become homeowners. Talk just a little bit more about that.
So there is a significant process. Habitat is not for everyone. And I will say that it's really important that people understand that we are probably 30,000 units short in this area for housing. And so we have a very, very a significant program in the sense of there's an application process. They have to meet, they have to have certain income, 2 years of, being able to show that they're working, paycheck stubs, their debt ratio, they've got, bills paid off, and that they're ready to become homeowners. And so there's an application process that occurs. And sometimes families are able to go through the program if they're selected, and then maybe they're not ready, maybe they're a couple of years out. And so if they are a couple of years out, they're eligible to go through the Money Matters program. And that is really a program that allows them to look at, the importance of budgeting, the importance of job stability. If I was to become a homeowner, how do I not only maintain that house, but how do I have that house long term, and all the things that go in with becoming a homeowner. And so that process for how Habitat is involved and really supporting them and guiding them through that process is critical, because a lot of times maybe these families, they want to become homeowners, but they're not sure how to do it.
I think the last time the Carter Project was here and you had a really big build, it was in the Belmont area, I believe.
It was actually Optimus Park.
Optimus Park. And some of those houses have appreciated quite handsomely since then. So we're also talking about not just giving people homes, but helping them accumulate wealth.
Absolutely. I think one of the most important things is understanding that homeowners have to understand, be involved in their communities, know what's going on in their communities. Because a lot of the folks in those, particularly in Optimus Park, they may have been there since '87. So we're talking 35, 40 years. The property taxes have gone up, and so we want to make sure that we're educating them on the fact that, hey, if you're going to sell your house, talk to Habitat, because where are you going? If you paid $70,000, $80,000 for your house, and now that house is worth $400,000, the average price of a house in Charlotte now is about $420,000. So someone may be whispering in your ear, I'm going to give you $300,000 in cash, and that sounds good, but where are you going? Are you downsizing? Are you able to buy another home? So we want to make sure that they're not really crippling themselves and wasting the equity that they had in their house because they got cash in hand, but they may not really understand the long-term repercussions of making a decision in the moment.
Charlotte is by no means the only city in the country with an affordable housing problem. Is the problem any different here in Charlotte? Is it being driven by factors unique to Charlotte?
This is a national problem. We are not unique. I think Charlotte, you've probably got about 160 people moving here to this region. we've got the weather, we've got a good economy, there's a lot of job opportunities here, we have a lot of millennials moving here, and so the challenge is keeping up with that, the need.
I think you mentioned that we're 30-some thousand units short.
Yes.
In Charlotte. Are we making headway toward getting to parity?
I would say we have a lot of great minds thinking about how to develop housing as quickly as possible. We're not going to build our way out of it. I think Habitat is clear on that. So what I do and what I work with our leadership and with other organizations and nonprofits and individuals throughout the community is on advocacy. And so the significance of that is helping people understand the impact of property taxes, the impact of land acquisition, the impact of legislation, and what the federal, state, and local communities are doing around, property tax assessments. So educating them, helping them to understand that every decision that we make now is going to impact us a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So we are making a dent, and it's a long-term problem, and we've got to tackle it right now. And I think we're doing that.
Early on, you mentioned some of the organizations that have contributed financially to this particular project. You also have volunteers. How important are the donors and the volunteers to what Habitat does?
I think it's critical because one of the things that's important about Habitat is that the giving of time, talent, and treasure is significant, but making sure people have heart. Everybody needs a place to live. Our mission is about making sure that people have a decent place to live, they have housing. And so if you can get the community involved and you can lessen the divisiveness, lessen the NIMBYism because people are educated, people understand that these homeowners are hard working folks just like you and I, that they have jobs, they have mortgages, they have families, they want the best for their families just like you and I do. If you can get that message out and help them understand that in the heart, I think it makes a significant difference in how they spend their resources, how they spend their time. Even a simple thing like visiting our Habitat restores and buying some of the things that we sell, which goes back into our mission.
QCity Metro readers have big hearts. So someone out there is going to want to know how he or she can get involved, how they can volunteer. We know about the various bills where people can come out and swing a hammer. How else might people volunteer?
So I would just simply say go to our website, which is habitatcltregion.org. They can volunteer at this site if they want to come out and help here. They can volunteer in our Habitat restores. They can volunteer with their local churches, so with their whatever their faith community is. So there are a number of ways they can give financially. So we if they have an interest, we'll put them to work.
Now, you mentioned earlier on that Habitat builds a lot of new houses, but you're also doing a lot of repairs, helping people stay in the homes they're already in. Talk a little about that.
That is one of the big issues now. I'm spending a lot of time with elected officials, nonprofits, some of our partners, particularly from a legislative aspect as we're going through the 2023-2024 fiscal year budget. Property taxes are really having a major impact on folks. And so if you have an elder that's been in their house, they're now on a fixed income, they're having challenges with property taxes, and then on top of that, their house needs repairs, that's a huge challenge. Before I joined Habitat, I spent about 10 years as a volunteer. And so I was on the family selection committee. I would actually go out to these families, meet with elders, and they invite you in, give you a cup of lemonade or coffee or some refreshments. And they would tell you, if you can just fix my toilet, or if you can fix the sink in my kitchen so I can cook. And the whole house is in disrepair. And so, one, having a critical home repair program where we can actually go in, have our team and volunteers assess a property, and really look at how we can make sure that this individual or this family is able to age in place gracefully and with dignity, it's huge. And probably right now, the average cost of a repair for a house might be anywhere from $36,000 to $42,000. And so again, the partnerships, the funding, the City of Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, and the resources that we're able to utilize in helping these families, it's huge.
So this is Plato Price. When this is completely built out, what's going to be here?
So what's really significant about this particular project, and this is one of 4 projects, normally Habitat will do what we call infill projects. So it might be a home here, 3 homes there, 5 homes here. This one is a whole community. And so it's almost 40 units, probably about 37 units. And so this whole project is designed about a complete community development. And so we're going to have 1 and 2 bedroom homes, and we're going to have areas for families to gather. And we're really excited because it's going to be a legacy. I think the whole importance of Plato Price and the past legacy and the community input and the leaders that came out of this community will have new families that can continue that legacy and really put their Habitat mark on it. So we're really excited
Now,
about that.
speaking of legacy, this place has quite a legacy of its own. A historic school used to sit on the site.
Plato Price School, absolutely. That school was started in 1915. Again, as I mentioned, Congressman Mel Watts. We had Superior Court Judge Hoover came out of here, his brother, Dr. Eddie Price. We had a local artist that came out of here. And so that leadership, that talent, the things that they were able to do in a segregated community. And then when the school was desegregated and closed in 1966, we're proud to be able to carry on and recognize that legacy.
Other than the name, how will that legacy be remembered in this community?
So the name of this development will be the Meadows at Plato Price.
Okay.
And so we're happy to be able to carry that on.
Will there be any other things in the community that commemorate the school and the history of the school?
What we will do is we will work with the community, and we're working with the local churches here to make sure that anything that we need to designate to carry that legacy on, we'll work with the community to make sure it meets their needs.
Okay. Do you think I can drive one of these big machines? No. You don't have the key?
No, we don't have the insurance, okay? Not for you, dude.